through everything really
then
fast.
there's no
and,
distractions.
Get it done.
I don't believe you. You need to hop in the gym, Bailey.
I know I do.
Yeah, with your fat ass. But anyway, we're back. We're back to episode 53 of Your House, Our Rules. Stop what you're fucking doing right now. Comment, rate, subscribe, do all the things, share it around. We're getting into it. All right, y'all? So one thing before we get into our first topic of the day that I kind of want to bring up, this reel that we had blow up. Fucking Bailey has officially made it because everybody fucking hates her. Apparently you can't call a bunch of rednecks because they get real mad about it.
Even if you're a redneck.
Yeah, even if I am a redneck, I can't call them rednecks.
Yeah. So now we had a good little view, a good number of views on the reel that we posted about the whole trans and the gay beer cans and stuff like that, and there's over 150 comments on it, and everyone pretty much was just mad that they called her a redneck. I thought people would be mad that I was talking about how it's a bad business strategy. I thought it would be the other way. It was like, no, it was the right side that got pissed off.
No, they got pissed.
Trans hater.
They call everybody snowflakes, but goddamn, they got real fucking heated.
No, they were mad that she was supported trans people, not hating on them.
They were pissed.
Yeah.
And in general, I really didn't. I mean, if you watch the whole episode, I didn't really support them.
Well,
how they were saying I was doing it.
That's the thing about the comment sections on these reels. People see a minute clip of an hour-long fucking podcast that we did, and they think that they know exactly what we were talking about.
The whole thing.
And people are commenting some. I had one on the my dad not liking the Nike. My dad and my family not supporting Nike, and some chick was like, "That says more about your family than Nike." And I was like, "That was the literal point of the reel."
Thank you.
The literal point.
And I guess I look like Kid Rock too, which is a compliment.
Ricky Bobby over here.
Yeah, some dude commented on that Kid Rock one. He's like, I don't think I would come at Kid Rock like that. Like, what's he gonna do? He doesn't think he's had haters for the fucking 30 years he's been making music. Like, come on.
Anybody that's on either of the extremes, both sides are fucking snowflakes.
Anyone that's successful has haters.
Force upset about anything that is not what they believe.
We found out fucking people were mad that she called people rednecks. Like, I was like,
really mad.
Real rednecks.
My family has been calling each other rednecks for fucking
At least
years.
Southern rednecks do.
I claim that.
They claim they're rednecks.
Yeah, that's the way our family is.
It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah,
I am a redneck. That's what I like. That I'm a redneck.
A real country boy is super proud of being a redneck.
I'm about to become a real country boy.
Are you about to
I'm announcing.
It wouldn't be hard. All she'd have to do is just cut her hair.
Even more.
God damn it.
Wouldn't be difficult. Just cut your hair and
I'll
you're
be
there.
like Mr. Beast guy. That
Looks like Katie straight again.
She's still straight.
What would your name be if you were a boy?
Stu.
Bobby.
Dale.
Stu.
Dale Earnhardt.
I was thinking some transition to Katie to a male version of Katie. So
Well, my name's Bailey, so it's not.
I don't know why. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, let's get into the first topic of the day. We're going to move in with this Jack Teixeira. Is that how you say his name? I don't know how to say his last name.
I believe it's Teixeira. At least that's how the baseball player's name was spelled, and his last name was Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, he's the guy who had these recent Pentagon leaks. Leaked a bunch of top secret to lower level of secret information the Pentagon had. Somehow had top secret clearance that he was able to view these things.
Well, he was in the military.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but
Well,
still, he's only
reserves.
the thing about it was he's 21 years old, right?
Yeah, so you would think he wouldn't have
yeah, there's no way he would have access to that, but they admitted that he did have access to that. Like, he was able to get into it. Obviously, he's going and searching for it and posting it on Discord or whatever, and he's been doing it for a year, so he was 20 when he was doing it. So, worked at an Air Force base. If you talk to military people, they always talk about how pampered the Air Force is. I mean, you gotta be a little bit more intelligent, I guess, but I guess they trust him with a little bit more shit. So, yeah, he released a bunch of this information, and shit's popped off. There's a bunch of shit that they're trying to cover up as the United States, all the countries that are involved are trying to cover up certain things. So it's kind of hard to determine which ones are fake and which ones aren't.
So you're saying we do propaganda too?
Yeah, dude. We
Really?
do. We do. But I mean, it's been a big thing. I think the main thing to hit on, the big point, the first one was about the lying about the number of casualties that were in the Ukraine-Russian war. And apparently we've lied about the number of Russians that have died. Obviously, if you're someone who has followed it or whatever, I know me and Jeff have talked about it a lot because our friend Drew will come up to us and be like, Ukraine's winning that war, man. And people just don't understand. And I'm like, Drew, you need to understand.
That's why Russia's taking land.
Russia's
over and
a
over and
superpower,
over.
but it does show the amount that we have infiltrated their intelligence agencies and stuff like that. Because if we're trying to skew it to make it look like there's more Russians dying to deter them from continuing the fight. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's like people that are, informed spies like on in every major country like that leak stuff to other countries because there's a bunch of money in it and leaking stuff. You fucking leak something and get paid a shit ton of money for it.
It's about the money?
Every fucking episode, we're just past 5 minutes. And there it is.
Sorry.
Yeah, but
So what you been sipping on?
What kills me is that nobody's calling him a whistleblower. Like, he is a whistleblower. Like, that's what that is. Like, they're trying to paint him to be
a terrorist.
A terrorist,
Yeah.
and that's just like he did basically what Snowden did, like to not to the same degree or anything, but like that's what he did. It's information that the public should be privy to. Some of it I understand you can't have the information out there, but like as far as just what's going on in the war, like that it affects all of us because it could plunge us into World War III with a nuclear superpower.
It definitely does affect us, but I'm not necessarily one that backs the whole point that all the regular citizens should be privy to it, because at the end of the day, once this comes out, a bunch of people get up in arms and it causes more civil unrest in our own country if we were to put it out there. So I'm not saying that I would obviously want to know this information, but I understand why they don't want to. There's a reason why it's top secret, and there's a reason why they try to use the propaganda and hide things.
Well, just imagine if one day one of our cities was just gone off the map because Russia nuked us and nobody understood why, but the real reason was because we're actually boots on the ground over there fighting them.
Right.
Depends. I mean, can we pick which state they take out?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is you had something as severe as the nuclear, a nuclear bomb and a city getting wiped off the map. We would know about that. There's no way that a nuclear explosion in the continental United States.
I'm saying, but if that's how we found out was because of a city getting wiped off the map. And,
just finding out.
And everyone was clueless at that. Why did they do this?
Yeah.
We had no idea what provoked it.
And then having afterwards them trying to cover up, even though it's completely obvious that this happened. There's no more Houston. It's gone. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It's just I think that there's a reason why shit is compartmentalized in the government and stuff. I want to know the information, but I do definitely understand why it's a big deal when this stuff gets leaked.
Well, I definitely think some of the stuff shouldn't be people shouldn't be privy to, but the basic stuff of what's going on in the war,
the number of casualties in the war.
Yeah, and what's actually going on, where this area has been taken over by Russia. If Ukraine's winning the war, how come they're constantly backpedaling? It's not like the line's going towards Russia; it's going the opposite way.
And
also in the leaks, something that was big was
the missiles.
Was Zelensky saying that if he had these missiles that they want, that he would be attacking Russian cities with them.
There was part of the information that they leaked was that there was about ready with the changing of the seasons, the spring, summer, they were getting ready to launch an offensive, and there was another one that said that the amount of missiles, I can't remember the terminology for the actual missiles, but they had a good 2 to 3 months that they were even going to be able to maintain shooting these missiles, or they're going to run out.
May 20th.
Yeah. So even a month. Yeah. So I mean, it just kind of goes to show the propaganda that's happening, the way things are being hid, the way things are being skewed to back one side in certain areas and differently in other areas. Man, it's but I do feel you on that with the whole Russian Ukraine. This is something that the whole world is watching. So it would make. I don't know if it would make sense, but it's something that I want to know. Is I want to know who's winning and really doing it. Me as an educated person, I know that Ukraine doesn't stand a fight in that war.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if we weren't, giving them so much aid and stuff, it would have probably been
that's
over.
An issue.
It would. Well, there's something else that was leaked was that Saudi Arabia is who's supposed to be one of our biggest
Egypt.
Allies is actually backing. Well, Saudi Arabia is
See, I thought
Egypt is
I saw that Egypt, which
them.
they denied, and fucking even Russia and the United States both came out and said they made announcements that there was no legitimacy to that one. But yeah, Egypt, who is one of our axes in the Middle East or that northern part of Africa or whatever, apparently they were going to supply 100,000 missiles to Russia or something, which is our biggest opponent in this whole thing.
Yeah, but how do we know that that's not just another propaganda thing?
Well, that's the thing about all these leaks. We don't know which ones are true and which ones aren't, and because
they can skew which one is true and which one is not. They can tell you, oh, that's not fucking true. We're not doing that, but they all actually are.
And that's what kind of backs up my stance with people people not needing to know about it, because even though we do know about it now, these were leaked, it's still like the average person, this has no meaning to them, because we're not going to be able as like regular civilians to be able to decipher whether or not it was true or not. Like we don't have that intel. So when it comes down to it, we're just at a loss.
I saw yesterday or this morning that they're closing in on 12 of the other people that were involved in that Discord group. Like,
Well, do you think
are
that he
probably
should have been
gonna get
arrested?
as well? Hell no.
I don't think he should have been arrested.
To a degree, like I don't like, because some of the information I believe is something that should be public knowledge. Then like for that, no. But like that's what I was saying, like about the difference in a whistleblower and a terrorist. Like there's a terrorist is like a big bad no, but a whistleblower is something that's done that's like for the benefit of
it's needed.
It's like people look at Edward Snowden as a hero, like, and they're trying to paint this guy. Obviously the government, if Snowden never came back here, he would be locked up too. So
you don't think that Jack Teixeira or whatever will get arrested? Is that
No, he has been arrested.
Okay, I was about to say,
and he will spend prison. He will do prison time.
That's one thing that I want to kind of touch on a little bit, was the fact that, like, like you just said, Snowden is looked at as a hero, but he has to live in Russia. He's not allowed in the United States because of what he'll face if he comes. And we're getting a certain thing. At the end of the day, the people who have been hiding this and covering this shit up, those are the people who should be put in jail, not the guy who leaked the information.
And will they though?
well.
Will they though?
No, they won't.
Of course,
they won't.
Of course, that's why.
the reason they
that's
took
why
him to prison.
even discussing it is complete pointless, because nothing's going to fucking happen
Right.
with it. Just
Nothing-
like everything else, nothing ever happens to this shit.
Well, I think there is an importance to talking about it. There's a reason why we do it,
Well, I get
why
it.
we're doing it right now.
Hopefully,
I mean, and a lot
something
of people,
will happen at
a lot
one
of people
point,
on
but
our
it
reels and like the podcast comments would comment. They're like, "Oh, look at these pseudo intellects that are just sitting in someone's kitchen talking about it." And it's like,
yeah, it's my kitchen,
it's
motherfucker.
like one, we enjoy actually doing this, and two, like the independent media is so important in the
Correct.
United States of America, because that's where you get the real information. That's
Right.
where you get people's opinions down to their fucking core. So I don't see a reason why not to do this, but
and don't
people are
hate
gonna
because my shit's nice.
yeah.
It is. It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful little
No,
kitchen.
but seriously though, like, and I get it, these intellects or whatever. Yeah, we're giving our opinion, we're talking, we're having great conversation, which I think more people should do about these things. Honestly,
Yeah, well, I
okay?
mean, we could be
not
talking about
necessarily the
this.
same topic of which we're talking about, but just topics in general. Okay,
Yeah.
because people don't always necessarily agree on stuff. It's different opinions. It's great. Okay, but at the same time, the way I look at it is like the people that leaked this, yes, I mean, they're gonna get he got arrested or whatever. Should he? I mean, it's like, if he signed something saying, here's your non-disclosure, don't, you can't leak this information, then yeah, I mean, he did something wrong, right? I don't know the whole story or whole background
No,
of it.
there's-
I don't think
there's no NDA.
everyone does.
No, he definitely. When you get security clearance,
You sign something, right?
Well,
okay.
the reason why he's in trouble is because these are top secret
Correct.
files,
I know
and
that.
he shared
Yeah.
them on Discord.
Correct.
He wasn't supposed
He's
to do
not
that.
supposed
That's
to do
the
that.
legal
Yes,
part.
right.
Yeah.
But also, the people that did what he's leaking shouldn't have done what they did either.
Oh no.
No, well,
Correct. They're fucking hiding shit.
It goes down to the chain
and,
of power,
and
though.
lying. Correct. But my thing is,
And
something's
using
going to happen to
media
that
to
dude.
lie.
Something's happening to that dude who leaked the information, but nothing's going to happen to the people
Who are covering it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that we're talking about this right now, but there's probably people watching that have no clue what the fuck's going on.
Right.
So we're trying to give information, even if
For sure.
even if the information is
I
like dumbed down a little bit.
Right.
Because I mean, it is.
We're all C students.
We're dumbing it down
I
a
was
little
not
bit.
a C student.
I'm sorry, D and C students.
I was
All A's.
fuck you. No,
All A's.
bro. If I came home with a C, fucking,
But
I got
I mean, you
grounded.
agree. We're
Yeah.
dumbing it down a little bit
You
to
get a
what
sticker.
probably is actually happening. But there's
Oh,
people
yeah,
that
well-
don't know about anything
I mean,
that's happening
most
right now.
people wouldn't care at all. Like, I was trying to find the leaked documents to actually read all of them.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
No, I
I
know.
Oh
really
yeah,
care.
no.
You know?
It's just, I'm super interested in it. I want to
Yeah.
see exactly what
Well,
what they all say.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is that there's people out there that don't have any clue what's going on because of how the media has screwed
Most
a
people
lot
are
of stuff.
clueless. Yeah, completely.
So
And
that's
the-
why we do this podcast.
Correct.
Just to,
Bring
Try-
information to people and talk about
yeah,
good shit.
try to bring
Yeah.
shit that fucking we see as important to other
Right.
people, and
Right.
it can slowly spread from there. But yeah, this
And
is
I
something.
only say I don't understand why we're talking about this. I mean, like, it's like we talk about different things. It drives me nuts to know that the people that do these things that are above everyone else, they don't get the same kind of treatment as those that walk around the earth, of which they're supposed to take care of these people.
Yeah.
Right? They're supposed to do what's right. It's like me as a real estate agent doing what's right for my client. If I don't do what's right for my client, then I don't typically have a job, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that brings it back to last week's episode about the political people giving money to the politicians.
Yeah, because those are the people that they'll do whatever they can for because they're getting money from those individuals. Is it all about money? When we talk about that?
I think
Have we discussed
all
that
about
yet?
money.
Okay,
Did y'all see?
Just curious.
Did y'all see the Elon Musk BBC
Don't touch
interview?
me.
Did y'all see the Elon Musk BBC interview?
No, I didn't.
That was awesome.
What was about the
He
SpaceX
just-
thing?
No,
Yeah, it was
he
about just a bunch of stuff. They talked about.
talks about hate speech and
It
stuff
talked
like
about
that.
Twitter. Like
yeah.
the BBC guy was talking about
Because
how,
name an
how there was
example.
how there's been an uptick on Twitter since he bought it of like hate speech and different things like that. And Elon Musk was like, well, give me one example. Like, and dude was just like, well, like blah blah. I don't really use Twitter and this, and was just like trying to dance around the question. And Elon made him look fucking stupid.
Good.
Yeah. Like
No, I
and
love
he was
Elon.
basically saying like they're like that's not true. Like that's
Yeah.
just the way they're trying to portray it. Like,
Well, Twitter has been fucking a toxic, fucking racist place, just like all social media for a very long time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, well,
yeah.
welcome to the old
They're
days
just
of,
they're just
of
trying
internet
to
gaming.
They're just trying to pin it on him to make him look bad. But you know what?
If I had a
That's what it
social media outlet like that, I'd let anyone say whatever they wanted
yeah,
to.
exactly.
Oh,
Free
yeah.
speech.
It's called a
That's the-
freedom of
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah.
It's
There's a
not
reason-
you have a freedom of speech unless I don't like it.
There's a reason why, like, when I did like our little discussion board or whatever for Your House Our Rules, I said that we don't take a political. Your as a fucking whole does not take a political stance on anything.
No.
Each one of us
It's
can have our
common
own
sense.
individual representation of what we believe, but as a whole, we don't take one side.
We take a side of common sense.
Yeah. Well,
And factual information.
we try
Well,
to.
you might not have
We
common
try
sense.
to.
Try to. I mean,
Cool.
I know that I seem
Is
like
this
I'm
podcast just diss on me?
yeah.
It's the American Taliban
might be
leader.
your
Last one
house,
was
but
like
it's
that
our
too.
rules
It's
now,
the
buddy.
American
Anyway,
Taliban leader.
Continue, Bailey. Sorry.
No, like we might seem like I know that people think that I'm a really big fucking conservative, and I take more conservative stances, but I'm not. I'm semi-conservative. Like, yes, I'm semi-conservative,
Yeah.
and I think most of us kind of.
I'm a flip flopper.
I think
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
point,
most of us
I
kinda
think at
take
this
that.
point, I would even call him more conservative at this point,
Yeah.
but not my entire life. Him, no. But,
yeah, I
now
definitely
he is.
wasn't. But like,
since he's moved to
I'm-
Ohio,
I'm willing to change
It'll
my
fuck you up,
opinion.
man.
I'm willing to change my opinion based on the evidence that's presented.
Right.
No,
like,
that's how I am too.
everybody
That's how it
should,
should be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I've
Facts.
been a notorious fucking Trump hater, fucking his entire presidency. But since we've had Biden in office, like I'll sit here and say, like I would much rather have
Yeah, like,
fucking Trump
please.
in office.
Yeah,
Like
I know, for
please give
Come
me fucking
back.
Trump back. And like I'm not saying that I even want him back. I'd like
I'm not
I'd like someone else back instead of him. But like I'll take him over, Biden any day.
That's
Any
what I was
day.
trying to tell people during the damn election, and everyone was like, "You're crazy," and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, "All right."
Yeah.
Well, that's why I just pay attention to what I can control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care who's president or
And
who's
that was-
in office
that
and
was the
stuff
point
like
we were
that
making.
because I've got to do what I've got to do in order to pay my mortgage and my my lease on my car and take care of myself and my
Right.
family and the people I care about around me.
And when it comes down to it, all this leaked information that we got from the Pentagon or whatever, it's really out of our control. We're
Right.
not the people
But
in
it is
power.
good to
so
give information
it is
to
good
other
give
we're just
people.
spreading
Correct.
to make people
Yeah.
aware because a lot of people aren't even aware that this shit's going on right now. So
Right.
Well, that's
Exactly.
because most people still have such like you were talking about like me, being more conservative now. Like I used to like the mainstream media had its hooks in me before, like where like that's where I got the majority of my news from. So it had a heavy influence on me.
Right.
And once like started like getting news from other sources and realizing like I always knew that like our media lied and stuff. Like they lied us into the Iraq War, they lied us into Vietnam, they
but
lied
didn't
us into
necessarily know the extent. Yeah.
Well,
right,
that's,
and now like you see like with so much stuff that's come out, like
France is a really good example. Mainstream media doesn't cover it, but you go on TikTok and type in France, you see rioting in the streets.
all the rioting and stuff. Yeah, but like it just shows like our propaganda machine is like maybe one of the most powerful on the planet.
well, we,
probably
we
is
are
the
one of
most
the most
powerful.
powerful
It has
countries
to
in the
be.
world.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
why.
The fact, like other countries, everyone's like, yeah, that's propaganda, like right off the jump, and then people actually buy this propaganda. That's why I say it's like probably the most influential one.